On the Supreme Court's judgment, is it about the process or was it about the numbers? I'll begin with you, Ruth.
You know, what it ended up being depended on what the petitioners made it to be. You see, at the end of the day, the Supreme Court responds to what you bring forth to it and what you successfully prove before that particular Supreme Court. If you looked at the nature of the petition that you know, the several petitioners had, led by Raila Odinga, it appeared as if it was a cocktail of both process and numbers, because the issues they were raising, some of them were numbers issues, some of them were process issues. Numbers issues in what sense? Look at Okiya Omtata's petition. It was purely about trying to justify the numbers and trying to prove that, or rather trying to allege that William Ruto did not attain 50+1. Looking at Raila Odinga's petition, it was a mix of both process and numbers. Process in what sense? When they would raise questions such as the interference of foreigners in our electoral process, issues such as the hiring of Smartmatic, a foreign company, and whether, I mean, who foresaw this process of hiring this particular company to run elections, when they brought up issues such as the question of, you know, the alleged interference of the turnout by stopping the elections of, postponing the Mombasa, Kakamega, and other, you know, other regions, the elections of those regions, when they were bringing up questions such as the fact that IBC Commission seems to have been divided and therefore not proving that the Commission was capable of, you know, announcing free, fair, and credible and verifiable results. Those were process issues. Then come to the numbers issues when they were bringing up questions such as the fact that, you know, election results were announced without tabulating 25 constituencies, when they were talking about the fact that they felt that certain parts of the country, such as Kiambu and you know, Kiambu and parts of central Kenya, that the votes were manipulated and certain numbers were, you know, votes were subtracted from Raila Odinga's numbers. Those were numbers issues. So the Supreme Court will rule based on what you bring before it and what you conclusively and properly defend. So if it is about numbers and process, did you substantially support and bring credible evidence that would make the Supreme Court say, indeed, we are nullifying this election based on the fact that numbers were not attained, or we are nullifying this election based on the fact that the process was not followed. So in comparison to the 2017 election, the 2017 election, the petition solely focused on the process. So the court does not come with its own determination. The court will determine based on what you bring before it. So you see, it's a good example would be that if I go to the court, like it doesn't have to be the Supreme Court. If I go to even the chief and I tell the chief that, you know, I'm here before you because my piece of land is being encroached by my neighbor, the chief will not rule and say, you know, the cows in your farm are eating the neighbor's grass. No. The issue before the chief or even before the court is the encroachment of my land. So the judgment will not be now the question about my cows and other unrelated issues. So I mean, in that case, I would want to believe that maybe the speech that the president gave was pre-recorded just before the judgment came out, and so he did not really, you know, factor in what the court would eventually say, you know. So I'd say that I wish he had spoken after the judgment came out, because then he would understand that, you know, it was not about numbers or process, it was about both. And unfortunately, according to the court, our team was unable to prove that, you know, we had the numbers.
So you are of the opinion that perhaps the case was weak, the case that was presented by the Azimio team?
What the Supreme Court is saying is that the case was weak.
Right.
That is what the Supreme Court is saying.
So it is what it is.
It is what it is. I mean, for me, I will not fight over issues that are clear, you know, because if the court says that, remember, these are very learned people. These are judges who have held, some of them have been judges of the High Court, having handled a lot of, you know, legal issues. Some of them have backgrounds in academia. So as personally, as somebody whose background is law, I must respect where they are coming from. Okay. I won't just wake up and say, you know, they add in law, they don't know what they were talking about. Correct. These are people who are learned. Yeah.
All right. Dr. Ojwang, I mean, part of the petition is also anchored on the dysfunction within the commission, that is the electoral board.